industry has a dark side. We all spent a goodly amount of time at the North Georgia State Fair a couple of days ago, and it turns out that state fairs have a dark side.
We're not going to go for the obvious here. There are rides that break down, things like that happen, injuries, stuff like that. No.
Do all the screws really need to be tight? You just get 90% of them. You're probably going to be okay.
So I did a deep dive into state fair scandals. All right. So I have one from Wisconsin. I got one from New York. And I got one from Oklahoma.
Okay. I will say this, that while we were at the fair, I did break off a little bit and start talking to some of the fair workers. Some of the nicest people you will ever meet in your life, man. And they just aren't in town for just this one fair. I talked to a bunch that were going here to West Virginia, to Pennsylvania. They travel with the fair. The nicest people you'd ever meet in your life.
Wow.
So this was the headline for Wisconsin. Bad look for Wisconsin. Potential consequences dished out in state fair sex scandal. Ooh. Yeah, that one definitely made me click. I'm not going to lie. All right, so the video made headlines in media and tabloids across the country. A couple seen being intimate on the bleachers inside the state fair coliseum. The viral video brought outrage and disgust to fairgoers. Nearly 3 months later, potential consequences are being dished out, but only one of the two is facing criminal charges. So I'm going to have you guess, is it the man that's facing charges or the woman that's facing charges?
Who was facing the crowd?
Well, they were on top of it. So if I can paint a picture, she's laying down on the bleachers and he's laying down on top of her.
I'm going with the man.
Okay.
I'm going to go with her.
I'm going to go with her. She's fair freaky.
Mo is correct.
What?
Robert Beasley, 29, is facing 1 count of disorderly conduct, a misdemeanor. So, hey, if you want to get freaky at the fair, it's only going to be a misdemeanor.
That's not that bad, actually.
Desiree Anderson, 28, will be issued a municipal ticket for obstructing an officer, according to State Fair Police. Their mugshots, top notch.
Now, while these were guests, I'm imagining there's a lot of hooking up going on between fair workers on the road.
Oh, absolutely.
absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, you're free. If you're single, you're going from town to town. You're driving around in your accommodations in a lot of times, or they're paying for it. I bet there's hooking up left and right. That's a reality TV show I would watch.
All right.
The touring of the fair.
Yeah.
Me too.
Getting crazy with carnies?
Yeah.
It's a TLC show waiting to happen.
All right, Mo, your beloved New York.
Oh, boy.
At one point this week, it seemed like it could become the biggest scandal in New York State Fair history. The legendary Villa Pete's Frites, billed for 60 years as a 2-foot-long length of sugary fried dough, seemed to be shrinking, according to several users. Really, Pizza Villa? Over 2 feet? More like 16 inches, Stacey Gibbs wrote in a post that was accompanied by a photo showing a pizza frite next to a tape measure.
These jokes are too easy and too early.
I was about to say, like, there's a joke in there somewhere.
Yeah.
Sure.
It should be noted that the photo in question showed the starting end of the tape positioned about 2 inches past the starting end of the dough.
Oh.
But yeah, the pizza frite, or Villa Pizza Frite, states that they have 2 feet of dough, but a lot of people started measuring.
They really measured it.
Yeah.
Yes, it was called Shrinkgate. It was called shrinkflation.
Okay.
But apparently they're not giving you the full 24 inches.
Okay.
This is an epidemic. We talked about it yesterday at Taco Bell, and their burritos are shrinking, and Chipotle, you said, also?
Chipotle as well. Chipotle got a lot of backlash for shrinkflation on their products.
All right, and then lastly, Oklahoma State Fair rocked by scandal after a participant accused of using cup of porta potty poop to win contest.
Nope.
So no, this is so stupid.
You got me already.
Yeah. So 4 people had the chance to win a free car as part of the Stinkin' Sentra contest that was held at this year's Oklahoma State Fair. I searched to see if a radio station was behind this, did not get confirmation because the show I worked at in Raleigh back in the day, we gave away cars at the fair, and it was like Survivor, and you had to hold your hand on the car, you had to live in the car, it was a whole thing. So the competition has found itself shrouded in controversy after the victor was accused of filling a cup with poop from a portable toilet to gain an edge. 4 contestants signed up for the Battle of Endurance. They got into a 2024 Nissan Sentra at 11 a.m., knowing they'd be disqualified if they left for any reason. They were allowed to take a bathroom break every 3 hours, but that was the only time they were allowed to get out. Remnants of any food that was consumed also needed to remain in the vehicle. Brian Richmond clinched the victory when an Arkansas resident, Chris, called it quits. But things took an interesting turn after the runner-up accused the winner of resorting to an incredibly unsavory and unsanitary strategy to get him to quit. So after the contest came to an end, Chris went to Facebook and posted a 3-minute Facebook video detailing how the competition came to an end. He said that Brian went on his bathroom break, got a cup of poo out of the porta potty that he placed in the back window of the Nissan Sentra.
Jesus.
Bro, it's a Sentra.
That's true.
Chris refused to get back into the Sentra out of self-respect, thus handing the win to his competitor. He cried foul because you're not allowed to bring anything outside into the vehicle, but
There you have it.
it was such a clever tactic that they ended up letting Brian win the Sentra with his cup of porta potty poo.
It's disgustingly brilliant.
It would be an interesting strategy, though. So you can't bring stuff like that, but you can eat
Yes.
in the car.
But any like trash or whatever has to remain in the car.
Stay in there. So if you're competing, you bring in there the nastiest smelling food that is okay for you, but everybody, you're trying to force everybody else out. There's all sorts of gas probably in that car also.
Yeah, you might as well just go to the bathroom in the car.
So the way we tried to like torture the people that were in, because it was like a survivor, it's like a survivor type thing. We played Destiny's Child, I'm a Survivor on loop while they were in the car.
That's torture, man.
Get me out of here.
The Bert Show.